Let's get one thing clear. Building wealth isn't just about having a high-paying job or hitting the jackpot with some crypto coin. Wealth is built step by step, habit by habit, through small, consistent actions repeated over years. Yet in a world filled with get-rich-quick schemes and social media flexing, most people overlook the simple, powerful habits that quietly make millionaires. Not flashy, not complicated, but incredibly effective. In this video, we'll uncover the 3 wealth-building habits most people ignore. Not because they don't work, but because they work so silently and gradually, they don't attract attention. If you adopt these habits, you won't just change your finances. You'll change your mindset, your behavior, and ultimately, your life. Let's begin. Most people only think about money when they're in trouble. They check their bank account after a bill bounces. They look at their debt only when it's too big to ignore. They invest based on hot trends, not long-term strategy. What separates the wealthy? They reflect on their financial reality constantly, consciously, and intentionally. What is financial reflection? It's the weekly habit of sitting down, even for 20 minutes, to review your finances. What did I spend money on this week? Did that spending align with my values? Where did I waste money or act emotionally? What can I adjust going forward? You become your own CFO. Why this matters? According to a study by Harvard Business School, people who reflect regularly on their performance improve their results by over 23% compared to those who don't. The same principle applies to money. Wealthy people constantly analyze spending patterns, cash flow, investment returns, net worth trajectory. They do this not because they're obsessive, but because they know that unchecked money is like a leaking boat. Even if it's big, it will eventually sink. Ray Dalio, one of the world's most successful hedge fund managers, wrote in Principles that he obsessively reflects on financial decisions, even micro ones, and logs lessons. Why? Because reflection leads to refinement, and refinement leads to mastery. Most people skip this step because it doesn't feel urgent. But wealth is never urgent. It's important, and that's a habit most people miss. Let's be honest. Most people are trained from birth to be consumers. We're taught to buy the newest phone, subscribe to more platforms, upgrade everything once it feels outdated, spend on trends, not long-term value. But the wealthy reverse this mindset. They have a bias for ownership. What does that mean? Before they spend, they ask, can I own a piece of this company instead of just buying its products? Can I invest in tools that create, not just consume? Can I build equity in something instead of renting it forever? This is the ownership mindset, one of the most powerful wealth-building habits on Earth. Let's say you're obsessed with Apple products. Most people will spend $1,000 on the latest iPhone every year. But what if instead of buying that phone, you bought $1,000 in Apple stock? If you did that every year since 2010, you'd be sitting on tens of thousands of dollars today, not a drawer full of outdated gadgets. This applies beyond stocks. Instead of binge-watching shows, can you create content and build a brand? Instead of spending $100 per month on delivery, can you invest that in a high-yield savings account? Instead of just learning, can you start teaching and charging for your knowledge? Why most people miss this? Because consumerism feels good now. Ownership feels boring at first. The rewards are delayed. But this is the exact formula that wealthy people use to build net worth. Not by suppressing all joy, but by redirecting spending into investments that multiply. Ownership builds equity. Consumption builds emptiness. Ask yourself, where am I spending out of habit? And how can I redirect even 20% of that into something I own? Here's a harsh truth. Time is the ultimate currency. Not money. The poor trade time for money. The wealthy use money to buy back time and then reinvest that time to create more value. This habit often flies under the radar because it's not about budgeting or investing. It's about systems thinking. What is it? Wealthy people obsess over how things are done, not just what's being done. They ask, can this task be automated? Can someone else do this better than me? Can I create a system that works even when I sleep? Jeff Bezos once said, if I do something twice, I ask, can this be automated? It's not because he's lazy. It's because his time is worth more when spent on high-leverage decisions. So instead of grocery shopping, use delivery, manually managing spreadsheets, build a dashboard. Handling customer support alone, outsource. Now, most people think delegation is only for CEOs. But even if you earn a modest income, the habit of identifying repeatable tasks and streamlining them will unlock incredible financial gains over time. Why this habit builds wealth? You gain time to focus on higher income work. You reduce stress and decision fatigue. You create scalable income systems. For example, digital products, affiliate marketing, real estate. Wealthy people don't work harder. They work in a way that compounds. That starts with how they spend their time. Most people overlook this habit because it feels extra. But in truth, it's foundational. Bonus insight. These habits stack. Each of these 3 habits is powerful on its own, but together they create exponential results. Let's break it down. Weekly. Financial reflection makes you aware of your choices. Bias for ownership gives your money direction and purpose. Systems and delegation multiply your time and reduce friction. This is the formula the wealthy use. Not luck, not overnight success. And here's the best part. You don't need to be rich to start thinking like the rich. You just need to shift your habits. One day, $1, and one decision at a time. Most people search endlessly for the next big thing, the next crypto, the next stock, the next business model. But they ignore the simple habits that quietly build wealth over time. To recap, here are the 3 wealth-building habits most people overlook. 1. Consistent financial reflection, becoming aware of where your money goes and why. 2. Ownership over consumption, investing in things that grow instead of things that fade. 3. Systemizing and delegating, using your time strategically, not emotionally. These aren't glamorous. They won't go viral on TikTok, but over 5, 10, or 20 years, these habits can make the difference between financial freedom and financial frustration. So start small. Block 20 minutes on Sunday for a money review. Invest $100 in a stock or ETF instead of the latest gadget. Automate one recurring task this week, even if it's just your bills. Because wealth isn't built in a day. It's built daily. If you found value in this, give it a like and subscribe to Inspirational Ideas. Drop a comment. Which habit are you going to start this week? And remember, money doesn't change your life. Habits do.